everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you do? So grab your coffee, maybe a snack, or even if you're eating dinner, lunch, wherever you may be. And let's get into it. So they have been pushing this fake food on us for quite a while, yes. And we all know that organic food is probably the best way to go, although it's much more expensive, yes. In addition to protecting the environment, organic food is better. I know I can't really afford it, but it is better for us, okay? Unfortunately, Americans not only eat a preponderance amount of processed food, but 57.9%, and that's very high, of it is ultra processed. Products at the far end of the significantly altered spectrum that have been robustly linked to obesity, ill health, and early death in a number of studies. And the developed world in general eats significant amounts of processed foods. And as these statistics reveal the ramifications of this trend, okay, any food that isn't directly from the vine, the ground, the bush, body of water, a tree, is considered processed, okay? Now, depending on the amount of change the food undergoes, processing may be minimal or significant. For instance, frozen fruit, okay, is usually minimally processed, while pizza, soda, microwave meals, and lab-created meat alternatives fall into the ultra-processed category. Now, the rise of the processed and ultra-processed foods as a dietary staple also has a largely hidden impact in it that it threatens overall food security. Okay. Now, while edible gardens, which we all pretty much have, and that I always encourage you guys to have your freedom gardens, okay, have become more popular in recent years, few are growing their own food these days. They're relying instead on processing fare from the grocery store, like from the produce department, okay, much of which is made from patented GE ingredients. So who profits from the most from these GE products? It's the patent holders. Large multinational corporations beholden to their shareholders, rather than the local community in which crops are grown, reap the profits. Okay, so instead of going to Walmart's or Aldi's, we should be going to our local farmers. Now, in a recent Independent Science News article, there is a doctor, Vandana Shiva. She has a PhD. She discussed the progressive attempts at industrializing the global food system with more fake food and fake meat and the destruction that inevitably follows. Now, this is what she said. Food is not a commodity. It is not stuff put together mechanically and artificially in labs and factories. Food is life Food holds the contributions of all beings that make the food web, and it holds the potential of maintaining and regenerating the web of life. Bravo. Food also holds the potential for health and disease, depending on how it was grown and processed. As an ancient unpunished reminds us, everything is food. Everything is something else's food. Let food be thy medicine. Industrial food systems have reduced food to a commodity, to stuff that can then be constituted in the lab. In the process, both the planet's health and our health has been nearly destroyed. 75% of the planetary destruction of soil, water, biodiversity, and 50% of greenhouse gas emissions come from industrial agriculture, which also contributes to 75% of food-related chronic diseases. Importantly, the industrialization of agriculture, in which heavy use of chemicals is the norm, denatures soil, destroys its fertility, and does not return organic matter back into it. As a result, it degrades land and turns it into a desert. The complete opposite of what a healthy system does. Industrial agriculture also threatens global water supplies, draining aquifers faster than they can refill and contaminating what's left with toxic chemicals and excess nutrients that drive toxic algae growth, resulting in vast dead zones, and plant and wildlife diversity, especially pollinating insects, are also disseminated by chemical monoculture. Now, when you look at the whole ecological cycle, okay, you can see clearly how industrial agriculture is a key driver of progressive destruction. And yet this destruction cycle is defended in the name of affordable food and the need to feed the masses. Now, like I said in the very beginning, organic food, like organic meats, organic vegetables, yes, they are much, much more expensive, and really nobody can afford to buy that stuff. Okay, but yes, it is much better for you and for the environment, to be honest with you. Okay, now, while we certainly need to maximize food production in affordable ways, the current system is incredibly short-sighted. While it may be helpful in the moment, its environmental effects are creating a world in which future generations will be unable to grow food or find potable water. It may sound like fear-mongering exaggeration, but we're really precipitously close to a time in which vast populations are going to be wiped out, lest we radically and rapidly change course here. It's important to realize that once topsoil is eradicated, you cannot grow food no matter how many chemicals you add to it. In 2014, there was a woman by the name of Maria Helena Semedo. She is the Deputy Director General of Natural Resources for the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. She warned that at the current rate of topsoil degradation, all the world's topsoil will be gone in less than 60 years. Today, that means that we have about 55 years left. And water shortages are also becoming a pressing problem all around the world. So it has also been noted that biodiversity intensive and poison-free agriculture produces more nutrition per acre while rejuvenating the planet, and it shows the path to zero hunger. Now, it's also pointed out that while industrial agriculture uses 75% of available farmland, it produces just 30% of the food that we actually eat. And meanwhile, small biodiverse farms using 25% of the land provide 70% of the food. At this rate, if the share of industrial agriculture and industrial food in our diet is increased to 45%, we will have a dead planet. One with no life and no food. And the mad rush for this fake food and fake meat and, putting crickets and blah, 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 okay? Yeah. It's ignorant of the diversity of our foods and food cultures and the role of biodiversity in maintaining our health is a recipe. It's a recipe for accelerating the destruction of this planet and our health. Now, by now, you're not probably, I know, you're aware of the latest food fad of the Impossible Burger, okay? Held by vegans in Silicon Valley. Need their lips and they're bigger than their face, okay? These investors as the answer to the environmental problems blamed on livestock. On Impossible Foods, fake meat is made with GMO soy. That's just an FYI, okay? And they said, we have done tremendous amount of diligence, and we're confident that in using GMO soy, we're not taking a step backward in terms of sustainability. Really? Because if it's plant-based, you're not supposed to have GMO nothing. So, given the fact that 90% the monarch butterflies have disappeared due to the, the spray, the weed stuff, Roundup, okay? So Roundup ready crops. We are living through what scientists have called insectageddon. Okay, you've heard of dieselgeddon. Well, now there's insectageddon. Okay, because using GMO soy is hardly an environmental responsible option here. So it's also been pointed out that the company has total ignorance of the fact that herbicide-resistant superweeds are driving the use of even greater amounts of more toxic herbicides. As reported, it's also linked to cancer and endocrine dysfunction and known for its drift potential. You've seen the commercials on TV, if you still watch TV. If you've used Roundup, you may be entitled to okay? It will be doused on millions of additional acres of farmland across the Midwest and South this year. So attempts to restrict the use of dicamba in Arkansas, which has decimated the non-dicamba resistant crops over the past couple of years, it failed. With regulators choosing to relax restrictions instead. At a time when, across the world, the movement to ban GMOs and Roundup is growing, now promoting GMO soya as fake meat, is misleading the eater, both in terms of the ontology of the burger and on the claims of safety. Now, indeed, recent testing instigated by an organization called Moms Across America. Okay, it revealed that Impossible Burger contains glyphosate, a given, really, considering it's made with GMO soy, as the herbicide becomes integrated into the world, the whole plant. Well, yeah, the world. So the whole plant, and it can't be washed off. All right. So the total result, glyphosate and its breakdown, was 11.3 ppb. And Moms Across America also tested the Beyond Meat burger, and the results were 1 ppb. This new product is being marketed as a solution for healthy eating, right? When in fact 11 ppb of glyphosate herbicide consumption can be highly dangerous. Only 0.1 ppb of glyphosate has been shown to alter the gene function of over 4,000 genes in the liver, the kidney, and cause severe organ damage in rats. So the Impossible Burger is made of GMO soy, which has been shown to cause organ damage in animal studies and has been shown to be significantly different in non-GMO soy. So the GM ingredients of this Impossible Burger, which includes a genetically modified yeast and GM soy proteins, 46 of which are undisclosed and untested, are given more concerning to many consumers than the long-term health effects of glyphosate because of the reported immediate allergic reaction potential, which is acknowledged by the manufacturer. Yeah. So, you know, there's so much more that I could seriously go into, okay? But indeed, you know, the promotion of fake foods seems to have more to do with giving new life to the failing GMO agriculture and the junk food industry, okay? And to the threat to it from the rising consciousness and the awareness everywhere that organic and local and fresh food is real food, and which regenerates the planet and our health. But when you come to like stuff that they're trying to push that they say is organic and real and it's all about profits and control, man. You know, if you want real, go to your local farmer. You know what I mean? Go to them. And those jumping on the fake food gold rush, they have no knowledge, no consciousness about it, or compassion for living beings. The web of life, or the role of living food and weaving that web. Their sudden awakening of plant-based diets is ontological violation of food as a living system that connects us to the ecosystem and other beings, and indicates ignorance of the diversity of cultures that have used the diversity of plants in their diets. In short, the rise of this fake meat stuff, okay, is an attempt at recreating the same global control of the food supply that, remember, Monsanto, all right, and others achieved through patented GMO seed development. And now they want to do the same thing with animal products. So this is scary. This is not good. And there's a lot more that I can say, but I won't. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.